Hey guys, welcome back to another van video. Happy holidays to everyone. I'm sorry this took a little longer to get out, but I was on vacation in LA and part of the van had to be fixed and I couldn't continue doing the floor installation until it was fixed because it was the back right end of my van. There was a huge gap between the door closing and there was like a divot in the floor, so thank goodness my dad did body and fender work his entire life because I got to have that fixed for free. So thank you, Dad. But anyways, before the holidays, me and my friend did the sound deadening. Now, sound deadening, all the materials you need are the sound deadening itself. I use the Killmat brand. You need a roller, which is actually really satisfying to use, and scissors. That's all you need. You only need to cover like 20 to 30% of your van for it to be effective, but I didn't care. I used all of it. So yeah. And it's really important you cover your wheel wells too, because that's where most of the road noise is going to come from. So I covered this as much as I possibly can, and I have seen a difference. But anyways, there are 6 main steps to the floor build. There are so many ways that you can do a floor build, but this is the way I'm doing it and the way I like it, so this is what I'm going to show you. So step 1 is the rigid foam board installation. So here I'm just using a tape measure. I'm measuring in between the ridges to get the length and width of each groove in the floor. Then I trace it out on paper and I transfer that paper onto the foam board and then use a razor to cut out the foam board. Then you want to make sure that the foam board fits in, and it should look something like this at the end. Now, you may have noticed that there was an insulation around the whole outside of the van, and that is because that leads me to step 2 and 3. Step 2 is measuring out the area that you want to put your framing and creating a layout for that. And step 3 is cutting the wood down and screwing it together and gluing it to the floor. So let's get into that. So this is a rough idea of what you could have. This is a rough sketch, not to scale. It's just going to be helpful. But moving on to step 3. Sorry if you can hear that whistling noise. I have the propane heater going because it is 29 degrees in here. Next, we're going to cut the pieces of wood. It's really important that when you cut out your first piece of wood, to measure the width of each board that you're going to have, you need to measure for that. Always measure twice. 3 times, doesn't matter. You can't ever be too right about this. Just a little safety precaution. Make sure you have eye protection and wear a mask. So once you get all your pieces cut, just lay them out. That's what we did. We got them all screwed in, so we have the outside border of it done, most of the front done, some of the middle, and we are about to finish. And yeah, and that is the floor framing. Now we're on step 5, which is the Havelock pool. That goes into the floor, and each bat is about this long, and it comes in 2-inch thick pieces, which has an R value of 7. So I'm just gonna place this on top of each rectangle in the floor. I'm gonna cut it to size and just plop it right in, and then it'll be ready to go. While my dad is cutting all of those wood boards down to fit inside the van, I am doing this. This is the original flooring for the van, which means it's the perfect layout to cut onto this plywood that's going to become the subfloor. So I'm just going to be tracing this out completely, and that way it fits into the van like a puzzle piece. I just finished tracing out the original mat onto the plywood. Now I'm going to use a jigsaw and I'm going to cut it out, and it should fit like a glove. But let's get... Oh, wait. Well, I'm done. Just kidding. I f***ed up. The plywood doesn't fit. So learn from me and maybe don't use your carpet as the full template, and maybe measure as well as use the template. So I gotta go get plywood and the subfloor will be done another day. But I got everything else done, so woohoo! Thank you for watching.
I have no idea
I don't know
what
what
you did.
happened. I don't know what happened.